Hey there YouTube, GodModeDuelist here, and I have a deck update for you guys. This is my current build for X-Sabers, so let me go ahead and give you a quick explanation on some of the cards and why I run them, but here's the deck.
Alright, for monsters, 3 Fault Roll, 3 Boggart Knight, 3 Full Helm Knights. This is pretty much the engine of the deck. You go Boggart, Full Helm, Fault Roll, and then you can just special summon your way to victory. Next we have 3 Emmer's Blades, 3 Dark Souls, and 2 Pashul. This middle row is pretty much your support. You know, you have your Recruiter, he gets out everyone except Guard Strike and Fault Roll. You have your Sangan that gets everybody. And then you have your Spirit Reaper who just sits there and brick walls, keeping you alive. And then we have, I call them my standalone cards. They're pretty much, this is just all tech. We have 1 Ragiera, 1 Guard Strike, and 1 Thunder King. Each one of these 3 holds a special position in this deck. Ragiera is used as the alternate win condition. He's win condition number 2. Guard Strike is recovery plan. Guard Strike is plan B. And Thunder King is insurance. Pretty much stops, like, you know, searches, he stops synchros, it's insurance. That's it for the monster lineup. On to the spells. We have 2 MSTs, really good. Just gets rid of annoying back rows. 2 enemy controllers. This card's just way too easy to abuse, especially in this deck. I can abuse Full Helm Knight a lot more with this card, just switching a lot of your monsters into defense, running over them, and then searching out a monster from my grave. But yeah, and then we have 1 Mind Control, 1 True Nade, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Book, and then 1 Reborn. As you can see, I cut my Pot of Dualities because they really weren't helping in situations where I could have won if I could just special summon. So yeah, I mean, I know people will probably say I could just play around it, but there's not a lot to play around when your opponent kills you. So that's pretty much my personal preference. If I find a need to, I'll throw them back in if I really need them. But as for right now, this deck has been testing amazingly without them. So next on the trap lineup, triple emergency call. At 2, I didn't draw it enough. At 3, it's just amazing for some reason. Like, it's just more synergy for the deck. Like, it's making, like, I get to make more explosive plays. I just get to blow everything up and just synchro all day. And yeah, triple emergency call. Then we run 3 Saber Holes. For those of you who don't like Saber Holes, you can run 1 Saber Hole and 2 Warnings. For this deck, I'm liking Saber Hole a lot more than Warning, because there are times where a Warning, you know, has cost me a game, but you know, they pretty much do the same thing. Now the reason I run 3 instead of, like, you know, bottomlesses and stuff like that is because with this new format, monsters hitting the field is really bad. If, you know, until we get rid of priority, the monsters touching ground is really bad. So I try to run as many cards that stop summons as possible. Up next, 2 trap stuns. I really want to fit in a 3rd somewhere. I'll probably make another cut depending on how my locals goes this week. It just turns everything off. Just everything you see here that's pink, it turns them all off. And then we have 1 Mirror Force, 1 Solemn, staple. And then we have 1 7 Tools and 1 Royal Oppression. The 7 Tools, I'm liking it right now with the fact that it can stop a lot of counter cards. You know, it stops the, like, Warnings, it stops the 7 Tools. The only thing I really hate is that stupid counter trap for the 6 Sams can stop with 7 Tools. It's really annoying. But other than that, if I decide to cut this card, it'll probably be the 3rd trap stun. People will probably say 3 is too many. I don't believe so. I mean, you know, I need other ways to turn off my oppression, turn off their oppression. 7 Tools is great, but it doesn't stop a already face-up thing like oppression, skill drain, gravity bind, and so on and so on. And speaking of which, I still run 1 oppression. This card's just too good not to run. It stops everything. you know, it stops you. That's what makes it important, is that it stops you. So, like, you know, I can make my plays all day while you just sit there and look mad at me because I trap stun my own oppression. So, haha. And that's pretty much the current deck right now. Check out my next segment where I'll be talking about the synchros. So, yeah. Alright, guys. Alright, guys. This section I'll be talking about my extra deck. There are a couple of tech choices in here. Otherwise, everything else is really staple. You will find the majority of everything in any X-Saber deck. So, here we go. For my level 5s, I got one Catastor, one Naturia Beast, and one Wayne. Catastor, I rarely make him. You know, he's starting to collect dust, but he's always there for, like, you know, when I need him. Naturia Beast, he's pretty much the MVP of the level 5s. Stopping spells is just amazing. And then one Wayne. I decided to run Wayne again because he can be Gothams, like emergency called, and he also makes synchroing a lot more versatile in this deck. And he's also a warrior, so he fuels Colossal Fighter if I really need it. And that's it for the level 5s. Now for the level 6s, we have one Brionac, really good. One Naturia Barkion, him and Brionac are tied for MVP. And then one Hunley. Hunley's in a league of her own. You know, she's super Mobius, she's 3 MSTs in 1, so she's really good. She's the main level 6 that I bring out, other than Barkion. So, she's really good, and she can also be Gothams, which makes synchroing a lot more versatile. I can go Gothams, get her, and then full Helm Knight and make a Gothams. Sounds a little complicated, but that's about it. That's it for the level 6s. Now for the 2 7s, I only run 2, because, you know, it's pretty hard to make 7s with this build I'm running. We have one Black Rose. It's pretty hard to make. Normally, I kind of have to, like, you know, fiddle around to get the monsters to make him, but, you know, it's there when I need it. And then the one who's more easier to make is the Urbellum. His effect is kind of decent right now. I really don't like making him because he's so tiny. He's only a 22. When we get X-Saber Souza, he's definitely going to be replaced. It's kind of sad, but, you know, he's the other level 7 that makes this deck a lot more fun. And that's it for the level 7s. Now for the level 8s. We got one Colossal Fighter, one Scrap Dragon, one Stardust. None of these guys really need explanations. Colossal Fighter, because half the deck is Warriors, Scrap Dragon, surgically destroy cards, and Stardust to stop destruction. About it. And then for my level 9s, I just have one Mistworm. He's also collecting dust. Never really have the need to make him. And then Gothams, who is ridiculously easy to make. The fact that he's the only synchro that can be synchroed with tuners, because he just has one tuner and earth monsters, so I can synchro 3 full Helm Knights together and make him. It's really good. Plus he's a 31, so he automatically raffle stomps the majority of boss monsters out there. So that's really about it. That's about it for this deck update. Give me suggestions or leave comments of what you think of the deck, and peace out, YouTube. Rate, comment, subscribe.